Well, good morning. Welcome to the Lake District and Bleay Tarn in the background. I've come here for a meeting with Tony Higginson and a meet-up from his group with Landscape Photography UK. So hopefully meet some pals down by the, I think there's a few of them already down there actually. It's between Christmas and New Year. I've lost track of the days. I don't know whether it's Saturday or Sunday. It's like that middle bit where you never know what day it is and you don't even know whether it's New Year's Eve in a day or 3 days. I'm in that middle confused bit anyway. So I thought this would be a great opportunity to have a look back on what's happened in 2019 and some personal highlights for me. Maybe look at some of the disasters and sprinkle in a bit of reminiscing of what's happened this year. And so we'll go down, meet the guys, because January started not too far from here actually with Tony, and I'll go and ask him what his thoughts on that day were, because I think he'll remember it very fondly for a number of reasons. But we'll go down and find him and see what he says. Right, we start in January and here he is, Tony Higginson himself. And January was the first proper trip we had out, and we went up Tilberthwaite and there's a lot of snow about. And I had a particular shot in mind that I wanted to get, and I did manage to get that shot, which I was really pleased with. And Tony was running around. I could hear him whooping and hollering in the background because the conditions were rather tasty, mate.
It was a bit of a special day, a bit of a special day.
And Tony's a bit like me. He likes nice trees, and there's a lot of larch trees up there, and and in the snow conditions were just wonderful. So that was a lovely start to the year, and I think you know, we'll be out again, hopefully, if the snow starts again soon, somewhere else in the lakes. But a top place, and let's have a little reminisce of then. Tony and I have seen quite a nice bit of mist on the tree line, so we're going to have a wander up and see if we can get amongst it. But takes me on to February, and first trip of the year with my good mate Aid Gidney on one of our camper van trips. We went to Glencoe, and Ben Acrulast, the mountain opposite the Buckle, was our highlight of that tour. We ended up climbing up. Very, very windy day, I remember it, but I got a shot which I really, really, really like. Got some lovely side light on the Buckle, looking down into Glencoe. And yeah, I've had some fantastic trips with Ed this year, and we've seen some brilliant conditions. Let's have just a little sneaky peek, look back at that as well, because that was some pretty epic stuff. About 75 different panoramas. We've been shooting non-stop for about an hour. It's absolutely epic! Look at this behind us here. I might have to think about December's highlights now. Oh God, the light on the Langdales and the cloud coming through is just... How many times have I said epic this year? Just absolutely pristine. Anyway, where was I? March. Where did I go in March? What was the Peak District? First trip to the Peak District with Ed. And yeah, I remember this well. This was one of the real highlights of the year, and it was a shower, a rainstorm. I think we were on the top of Higator, I think it was, and we saw this rain coming, Ed and I, and the wind was 50 miles an hour. It was horrendous, and the light, we got some sun coming through. It was absolutely amazing. So yeah, the images, I don't know, I was a bit 50-50 on whether they really portrayed the drama of it, and that's probably more to the way that I processed them. But yeah, take a look at this. I like this. Incoming! Okay, May. Those of you who know me will know that I am a bit of a drama queen at best of times, and I like dramatic weather. And the last couple of years I've been storm chasing in the US, so that was the highlight of May. And I went with Aid, my good mate, and I think we both witnessed something that we'd never ever seen before. And just have a look at this if you haven't seen it before. This was proper deadly stuff, and you know, some of the highlights from the tour were just amazing. Cloud formations and the weather, epic, proper epic. Whoa, just had the tornado alarm just gone off on the phone. Emergency alert coming in.
Radar.
Incoming. Look at this. Woohoo! Whoa, look at this behind us. Look how cool this is. Got green in the clouds, a hail. Absolutely awesome. Massive definition in the clouds, looks absolutely fantastic. Just had the tornado warning, so we're hoping it drops one from this.
Like that.
This is just amazing. Look at that. Raining, look at the hail in the water.
Oh my god!
Go on, show us how big.
Go on, you've just stuck
Whoa.
half a dozen together to make that. I saw you.
That is massive.
That's not bad, is it? I just want some ice for my head, to be honest.
If that hit on the head, that would cause you some
That
serious
kill it,
damage.
wouldn't it?
Another one, windscreen all smashed in. Just look at the dents on that bonnet. Right, we're going to be heading into Coniston shortly for some lunch, but I'm quickly going to deal with June because there's no highlights in June. No photographers, landscape photography shoot in June really, I'll get anything decent. I did post one from June, but I think it was from Geltwood at Brampton, but it was alright, but it's a bit bleh. So, we're going to get some lunch. And then we'll move on to July, which does get a bit more interesting. And we're moving somewhere else to do some shooting this afternoon as well. So I'll come back after lunch. We'll be at the second location and we'll start talking about July then. Well, this is quite a nice car, particularly like the number plate. It'd be better if it was my MY 69 Fun. Interesting. Oh my god, I just realised when I've been eating my lunch, I forgot to talk about a trip to North Wales in April. I'll have to get back, rewind the clock, back to April. A week in Llanberis with my good friends Brian, Dave, Alan and Ed in a house. Spent a week there. That's definitely in the highlights and some cracking images as well actually. So let's rewind to April and have a look at them. We're having a wander out after lunch. We're now at Tarn House to shoot sunset, and we move on to July back to the Peak District with Ed. Second visit, and we went somewhere that I've never been before, which was Padley Gorge, and was undoubtedly the highlight of the trip. Just a little river really running through the woods, but some really nice sort of conditions, quite intimate scenes. And one shot that I really like, and hopefully you'll pick that out. So yeah, definitely the highlight for July was back in the Peak District. And then we arrived back at August, which is you know, often a time when many landscape photographers break out the camera again. And sure enough, the mist returned to the Eden Valley, and I'm dead lucky to live there because, you know, I've mist on the doorstep. In fact, this year I actually made myself quite sick of misty tree shots. I got a bit bored of them in the end because there was so many misty mornings. I kept going out, and I sort of had to stop after a while because I'd sort of I was not really finding the inspiration to get new shots. But anyway, there's got to be some misty tree shots in the highlights, and August is no exception. So September brought about probably the most epic conditions of the year in terms of the type of stuff I like. Misty trees, and it was down Ullswater, and this particular day I got a handful of shots, probably nearly a dozen, that I was really happy with, and there's a couple in there that you know, really ding my bells, you know what I mean? Ding dong. So yeah, have a look at some of these. It was just like one of them 11 out of 10 where you get the mist, you get the light, and it was just sublime. Light's starting to look quite interesting here at Tarn House. Got old Tony in front of us there, Tony Johnson. Bit of a local superstar. October. Oh my God. Oh my God, October. There's only one thing to say about October, and that's the Matterhorn. That was it. That's the only thing I'm going to say about this. This was just, for me, somewhere that I've wanted to photograph for years. And probably since I started photography, started seeing pictures of the Matterhorn, I always thought it'd be fantastic. And I just had a fantastic time. Everything went wrong, but it all came good in the end. And certainly for me, some of the most spectacular stuff of the year, photographing the Matterhorn. Yeah, definitely right up there. So here's my tent. There's like a massive puddle of water. I'm looking at it wake up in a swimming pool. I'm only just outside it. Tent looks like it's been absolutely battered. Get me Bear Grylls. Put the kettle on. What a morning! Oh my God, I've just had a run up the top of the hill. There's a fantastic inversion right down over Zermatt and over the mountains as the sun's coming up. It's about half an hour before sunrise. The Matterhorn looks absolutely epic. Oh my God. I was freezing my taties off last night, but it's been absolutely worth it for this. Holy shamoly. Right, we're on to November, nearly at the end now. Nearly at the end where we get the top 10 for the year. Well, my favourite top 10 anyway. November, very misty. Another road trip to Scotland with Aid. For my first Munro, whose name I can't really pronounce. Stop. Can't remember what it was. I struggled to pronounce it at the time. And then went up the Cobbler. Some fantastic views up there. Photographic highlights from there. I don't know if there was many actually. It's just like one of them trips that, you know, a lot of average shots, but nothing really brilliant. So whether I'll make the highlights reel, I'm not sure. I think some of the misty tree shots will though. And then we'll do December, just rock into December. Couple of things in December. Fantastic inversion and hoarfrost in the Eden Valley. Unfortunately, I was on my way back from Ireland, so I only got like about an hour of some absolutely fantastic conditions. It's about 3 o'clock in the afternoon, believe it or not. There's still a temperature inversion over the Eden Valley, and the hoarfrost that had been there that morning had not disappeared. And loads of people got like 1 million shots. I only got a couple, unfortunately. But I did get quite a nice shot that I really like of some trees emerging from the inversion. Take a look. And so we arrive at the highlight. Well, highlight for me, the top 10 pictures of this year. And this is a very subjective thing, I appreciate that, but I took them, so I'm allowed a subjective opinion. These are my favourite top 10. Other people might like other ones that I've taken, and I tell you, this has not been an easy task, deciding which are your 10 favourite shots of the year. Quite a lot that I sort of like quite a bit, but there's 3 or 4 that I really, really like, and then it's a bit of a mismatch of the rest. But here they go. Couple of thanks just before we finish. Thanks to my mate Alan and Aid, who go out with me a lot and have to put up me whinging and shouting epic and all them sorts of things. And a shout out too to Mally Davis, his channel, Let's Create, really positive learning environment, and he's sort of give me a shout out quite a few times on his channel, and I really appreciate that. It really helps. So, and for all the other people who've given me supportive comments over the years, a big thank you to you too. It does make a difference, particularly when you're in a sort of creative rut and you're struggling, and people, you know, say nice things about your pictures. So that's been really welcomed. I will wish you all the best for the new year into 2020. Landscape Photography of the Year is the next target, really, into January and February. See if we can get some decent images for that. And then I'm off to the Faroe Islands in March with some buddies. So again, chance for some epic stuff there as well, should be good. But here they are, without further ado, the final images. Put a comment which one you like the best. I know which one I like the best. I probably already mentioned it, but put a comment below. Let's see which one wins. Thanks very much. Cheers, guys.